Welcome back to the next episode of A Hopeful Take. I am Hope, and this is my husband, Chris.
I'm so excited to talk about the Ultimatum.
So we're filming way sooner than we usually do. Where did my squishy go?
You got to understand, the Ultimatum, so this is Wednesday, the day of the Ultimatum.
The finale and reunion.
And the finale was balls.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you guys the rundown. All the couples got engaged at the end. That was literally it. And, like, there wasn't any turmoil. There wasn't anything. Like,
no, we literally...
It was a short episode. It was like 40 minutes.
The whole time, the two of us are like, nah, this one, they're not going to propose. They're proposing. What are... You're proposing. What are you doing? Because none of these couples shouldn't... That's not true. Not none. Yeah. Most of these couples should not be together.
Yeah, I'd say 50% of them should not be together, basically.
Yeah. So,
out of the four, because at the important note. So
we're gonna briefly go back to the beginning of this. Mm-hmm. One couple was kicked off because he was a dickhead.
Oh wait, we should actually we can talk about it in depth. Name names. This is the episode for it. I'm excited.
True. That's true. Okay.
So it was Jebin and Alex.
Jebin and Alex. I hate Jebin.
What a terrible name.
Jebin.
His laugh is so funny though. It scared our cat.
Sorry, Jones. But like he's so stupid. He is worse than a teenage boy. This dude the entire time was hitting on all the other chicks. This is the one who in the last episode we had mentioned, he's like, I don't want to hang out with any of the girls. I want to have some guy time, but they just want to hang out with the girls. So I'm going to go chat it up with the bartender. Why?
No.
So this is this fuck.
He clearly got rejected.
Yeah. And he wrote a horrendous letter to his supposed to be girlfriend, essentially saying, hey, you spent this last week doing exactly what you're supposed to, of building a connection with somebody else, but I find this disrespectful. I hate you, and I'm never going to propose to you ever.
She was getting some game. Like there was a few guys kind of interested in her.
There was quite a few who were like, I really like you.
Kudos to her.
Yeah. So this dude,
he wrote a note that basically like said like, this is your fault. I hate you. Why do you have to make me look so dumb? And then he admitted, because we can start with him in the finale or in the reunion. He admitted
that he had a worse
note, and she
didn't know. She's face, like, you what?
And then everybody was like, why are you telling us this? Like, you have to be dumb.
And he admits, he's like, no, I was stupid. This was definitely the wrong show for me. I'm glad I was kicked off because the entire time I would have been Jonah. I swear to God.
He's playing with one of our cameras, which is not great. He's so interested.
Can you not
I have no idea why.
Camera, please? Can you come here?
Yeah, there's a good baby.
Hi, baby.
But, okay, and I will say this, because Jebin was one of the last ones to talk during the reunion. But he also seemed incredibly improved from where he was.
He grew a lot in that year. I think
give watching himself back, he was so self-aware because he immediately was like, I can't believe that's how I was like. I can't believe I laughed.
I can't believe I said that. Yeah. Every time I laughed, I'm like, shut up. You're annoying. And then he sits there. He's like,
And he even said, he's like, oh, I'm clearly not ready for a relationship. I'm clearly not ready for marriage.
I don't want to be married until I'm like 35. Well, how old are you? 24.
Yeah, like he grew in probably a way that was different from the show than most people, because he grew to understand that he was far too immature for something like a relationship or marriage.
Especially. Yeah.
So that was good.
They stayed together
for a little
after
while.
He wrote that letter. After he wrote this horrendous letter to her, they stayed together.
Not for long, but yeah, they stayed together.
Yeah, they ended up breaking up.
And they seem fine, actually, as friends, so I don't think there's really animosity.
Well, they were together for 6 years. They know each other intimately. So if as long as you still get along, I understand being better as friends than you are as partners. But still. And then especially finding out, oh, there was a second worse letter, I don't think I want to be your friend.
It was bizarre, but I mean... Yeah, that's her prerogative.
Yeah.
So then let's start with the other couple that left before the proposals.
Jessica and Idris.
Was it Jessica?
Yes.
Okay, Jessica and Idris. I can't remember her name, to be honest.
It was Jessica.
I just remember Idris.
Idris, his face doesn't move.
He doesn't move from here. Deadpan.
I don't know if he's just had a stupid amount of Botox or if he's just stupid.
I think it's important to know. So he actually laid out basically what happened. So they're in the final dinner. I don't know what our cats are doing. They're staring at each other. They were at the final dinner, or the dinner where they pick. His pick, he's like 38, and his pick was this 23-year-old girl, Alex
Jebin's girl, and they got kicked off.
They got kicked off before he chose. So then he went and proposed to his girlfriend, Jessica, whatever, and she said yes, because obviously she
gave the ultimatum. She wanted to marry him, and he just stood up from the table, walked out the door, picks up the ring, and then goes up to her. I don't even think he really said anything to her. He just like, will you marry me? And she's like, yes, because that's what she wanted.
Yeah. But
and
apparently
then we find out they didn't talk at all
when the cameras went off.
And he was very angry because he was going to choose Alex. And Alex was suddenly taken away because she was picked, because Jebin was kicked off, so she had to be kicked off as well. Yeah. And because his pick was no longer there, that meant that he had to either choose someone he didn't care about and watch his girlfriend have this experience with somebody else, or go and propose to her and marry her, which is what he wanted to do anyway. But it made him very angry because he didn't have a choice. Yes, you did. You didn't have to do that.
And we find out through... I'm not going to go through the whole fight right now because I think it's important to mention that
yes, it is.
He hit on Alex while him and Jessica... Who's half his age, but he hit on Alex while they were still... Him and Jessica were living together. They were still doing everything together.
They were still traveling. Yeah. They were still being very intimate together. They were still together. And he's like, we were broken up. She's like, then why were you coming with me on all my travels? Why were we staying in the same bed? Why this, that, and the other thing? He's like...
It sounded like they were still like basically married is really what it sounded like.
And she's like, well, because we didn't go through this experience, we didn't have the chance to go through all our things like everybody else here did. So we went into couples therapy like right away, and that didn't work because he's an asshole. And he literally starts going off on her.
So this is, I think, I want to start at least from the beginning because this is the whole can of worms. So Jessica, in her talking about how badly he treated her and how, and I should preface all of this too. These are our opinions. This is all alleged, right? We weren't in the rooms. We don't know the whole story. But
I'm a very heated person in this. All opinions.
Yeah, they're all opinions. This is all alleged.
We are reciting what we just watched, but it's all opinion.
Yeah, because who knows what our opinion will be once we get to the end of this? Because this was a good reunion. I'll give it. It
was for the reunion. I was impressed with this one. There was so much that happened.
But Jessica mentioned something about some kind of humiliation ritual that she undertook.
That he made her do a humiliation ritual. Yeah. I'm still making all these traditional Afghan meals for you that I don't know what I'm doing.
And then she was challenged on the humiliation ritual by Vanessa. And she refused
so you just opened. She's like, so you just opened up this box, and Jessica goes, and we're going to keep this box closed.
And she got really mad. Like there was that like really mounted.
Exactly what he did.
But there was this such weird dynamic then right after that with what Idris was saying to her about this whole Alex.
Well, it's not my fault then. And well, what did you message her? Well, he essentially messaged me along the lines of, well, do we want to give this trial marriage a thing? Do we want to try this? Yeah. And Jessica and Alex are good friends. She's like, no, yeah, I'm friends with Jessica. That's weird. I don't want to do that. And she immediately called Jessica.
Yeah. And then it was what disturbed me was what then Idris starts describing that they just had sex. And he starts saying in intimate detail.
We just broke up. And you know what we did? We fucked. And she's like, watch your language.
The whole crowd goes silent. Like,
Vanessa's
everybody
eyes
around the room.
This big. Jebin's went this big.
And then he says it a couple more times, too. The same thing.
And then he's like, and after I nutted, and then after you orgasmed, and she's like, shut the fuck up.
And the thing that I've said this whole season is I cannot believe that production isn't intervening more.
At all.
Because that, in my opinion, is so fucking degrading towards her.
Honestly, Vanessa looked like she was going to throw hands.
Like, the way that he was so mean to her, the way that he was, like, talking to her, like, that was degrading. In front of everybody, too. And, like, for nobody to say anything,
and it was the most that we've heard him speak.
And it was visceral. Like, it was friggin' mean.
I get heated watching shows a lot. You know this.
Yeah.
I have never genuinely wanted to actually, like, castrate somebody.
Well, you think...
as much as him.
I say this constantly. If that's what he's saying in front of people, imagine what it's like behind closed doors. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And anyway, so they're not together anymore, even though they got
God.
engaged. So that's a good thing for them.
Yeah.
But no, the whole, I definitely think, I understand they're making TV, it's reality TV, but like, I think in that case, somebody, whether it was the hosts or somebody seated somewhere else, needed to say something. Yeah. It was uncomfortable for the people sitting around. Obviously, they were enjoying like the back and forth and the stupidity, but like,
and I totally get that there's quite a few of them there that were probably just like gobsmacked and didn't know what to say. But there's a few there that I'm like, in earlier on when there's the four-way fight between the two couples,
the fearsome foursome.
Yes, and Killian is going off on Ashley about whatever, and he's like, "Well, shut the fuck up." And Haley's like, "Hey, do not talk to her that way. Stop it."
Yeah.
Haley didn't say anything. Nobody said anything.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? I wouldn't have been able to keep my mouth shut. I really wouldn't have.
Yeah, no, yeah. And I want to leave Idris and Jessica in the past, because what a terrible thing.
I feel for her. He needs his balls cut off.
He's grown. Like, we're talking,
he is
like
40 years old.
You're talking about like people that maybe in their like 20s, maybe early 30s. Like,
Jebin's a young, dumb kid.
And people were receptive when he's like, no, I was stupid. He was so self-aware. People were like, we get it. Like, you're young.
You're young. You're an idiot. You're fine. You need to mature and grow up. And he's like, yeah, I do.
Like,
yeah.
Honestly, kudos to him. But then on the same side, like, Idris has grown.
He's
like
40 years old.
Is that how you talk to people? Like, is that how you interact with somebody who could have been your wife? And especially in front of other people. Like, I totally understand if you're having like crazy blow fights behind closed doors.
Sometimes things happen. You say things you don't mean. I get it. But to a point, you need to watch your fucking mouth.
Yeah, and it was just, But so from the low of Idris and Jessica to the very high of what's his name?
No. We still have another dumbass couple to talk about.
No, I want to get to the fun part, because I think you might as well go from the worst up. And that's also, if we're going in like reverse order, this is how it all happened in the show, outside of, I think it was Idris last. Maybe it was Jebin last. I really can't remember. No, it was Eva.
At this point, we're like completely out of order.
We are. But I really want to talk about the best thing that happened on the Ultimatum.
Yeah, we have to talk about Ashley and Killian first.
Oh, I hate them. I don't want to talk about them, but we will. So
we can't have the high note and then go back to stupid people.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, Killian and Ashley were one of the fearsome foursome.
Between Haley and Blake and Ashley and Killian, they all couple swapped.
And they're Killian and Ashley did get engaged. Obviously, they broke it off, and
thank God.
He clearly has a lot of issues, and I think he was projecting a lot of his issues onto her. Like, one of the things that I found maybe a little off-putting, at least in my opinion, is that what happened between them, whatever, like Killian makes mistakes, he drinks, he gets mad at her and yells at her or whatever, and then she gets mad at him and yells at him, or whatever the back and forth was. Mm-hmm. Either way, it was toxic. It was that same cycle of like, he might get mad at her and yell at her and then go through her phone, blah blah. The thing that bugged me is that Killian's like, I don't want to be in a relationship right now, I can't put them through this, right? I'm not in that place. But then when him and Ashley are fighting on stage, he's like, oh, you haven't taken responsibility for anything. And it's just like, she's probably not going to take responsibility for it. Somebody in one of the episodes that said she was a narcissist. I kind of agree.
I think it was Haley that said it. Yes, Haley said it to Blake when they were attacking him. And she's like, no, don't engage with it. She's a narcissist. That's what they do.
And I don't think, like, if you're working on yourself and you're trying to fix yourself, you should be like, oh, you need to take responsibility for it, because you need to own your side of it and you need to work on your side of it. If somebody never takes their side of it, that's fine. That's their thing. And I think Killian, it almost seemed like something was like off of his shoulders at the time when they broke up.
Yeah.
But that being said, like, she had said, oh, you've been rage texting me anyway since like just like, 2 months ago.
As of 2 months ago, you were rage texting me. Well, that was, I'm different now in 2 months. But you said that you were different from the 2 months in the experience, and immediately, apparently, you were going back to your old ways, and you didn't deny it either. And he was also the only, this bugged me way more than it should have. Mm-hmm. He was the only one who didn't dress up for the show. He was the only one for this reunion who showed up in a t-shirt.
It kind of made me wonder if he wanted to be there at all.
I don't think
I don't
he did.
think so.
He didn't look like he wanted to be there at all, but I think he was contractually obligated to be there.
Probably. And then he did talk quite a bit about, because obviously, like, they had like a moment at the start where they're all sitting in the same room basically talking for like 8 hours because they can't come to terms with the fact that they'll be apart and they have these trial marriages and
arguing the entire time.
Fingers are being pointed at who's doing what and saying what and like all this crap. And he's like they addressed that a little bit. He had said obviously this was based in my own insecurities, and
I've realized how insecure I am in a lot of this.
Yeah.
Oh, he made me angry.
Yeah, and obviously, like, it is worth mentioning that no, Ashley didn't take responsibility for really anything that she really doesn't. Played part in.
Everything is somebody else's fault, but I also think she was turned into that.
I think through like that intensity of the situation, I think she kind of just like it was like fight or flight in a lot of ways.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and like the thing that I found weird is that Vanessa and Nick didn't challenge her on any of the crap she kept spinning.
No, she didn't.
In previous seasons, they would if somebody's just like spinning.
Oh, that didn't happen. Roll the tape, and then they do, and literally that wasn't.
And production did do it once, but it wasn't the only time that happened.
No.
And at the same time, I'm not pinning the whole thing on her. I think like out of the four of them, they all had so many issues. Like. I say this quite often. If you're going on one of these shows, just break up.
And the two of them did. And the other ones in that couple that did were Blake and Haley.
Which,
thank God.
I guess for the purposes of legalities, he brought in an affidavit, which I was surprised about.
She signed that, no, I never hit you. It wasn't anything like that. You signed the affidavit that I never hit you. You coerced me too. Well, you made me do it.
Technically, because coercion in this case is a crime.
True.
That never happened. But what he had asked was, are you willing to sign this affidavit of what happened basically that night? And she complied. Whether she was coerced into it or not is up to interpretation because it wasn't said yes or no during the show.
But Nick calls that out.
Nick does call that out, and both of them say, no, she wasn't coerced. But there was comments that made it seem like she was coerced.
Yep.
Whether she was or not, we have no idea. And we should actually talk about the whole situation on what happened, how it happened, and because Haley and Blake, they get engaged, and they go through a lot together. I think
they were ones that I was sure he wasn't going to propose.
I agree.
I was so sure because he was so done with her toxicity and her constant badgering him for everything. And never giving him any sort of grace at all. And then he apparently hit her after she had dumped a beer on his head, after he apparently bought two girls drinks that had asked him to buy them drinks, but she says that she had gone to the bathroom or something, and then she came back and he was taking shots with the girls, and she felt disrespected, and he's like, yeah, and you poured a beer on my head. And then she starts crying because apparently he left and he was belligerent drunk, and he was behind the wheel of their vehicle and he was trying to drive, and she had to like stop the car to make him get out so she could drive them home.
Yeah, so the timeline that they presented to us was they're at a bar, they're drinking. She says that, oh, you convinced me to drink with you that night. There was some implication that maybe she didn't want to, but he had said, please come drink, whatever. So she leaves to go to the bathroom or whatever. He says there's two girls there. He turns around and buy them drinks.
Because they asked him to.
Which, whatever. By the time he turns back around, Haley's there. She gets mad, and then she dumps this drink on him. And through the process of the night, he gets intoxicated to the point of blackout maybe. The thing is that this is all through the eyes of Haley and partially through the eyes of Blake and what he can recount.
Mm-hmm.
Haley leaves, and then she sees Blake coming around the corner in his vehicle, which when you're
blackout drunk you should not be doing.
You shouldn't be driving. So then she takes the wheel and then drives him home, and that's allegedly where everything is physical. Because he makes a claim that, oh, she swung at me through the window. And then she makes a claim that, oh, you put your hands on me. And that's kind of the timeline. The validity of any of it, I have no idea.
I feel like there's truth on both sides of it.
We talked about this in the car, and I think the statement that probably describes it the best was they're probably both telling the truth, but
They're both extending what the other one did.
Yeah, they're basically blowing up to make it seem like the other did worse than what they really did.
Like, did she try and hit him through the window? Probably not. She probably tried to stop the wheel from turning. And it just looked like she was trying to hit him because she went, ah!
And that's the thing, is the way he describes it was very confusing too. He says, like, you know, when you came up to the vehicle, and it's confusing too if he meant when
you were aggressive.
Well, when they were, the way that I understood it is that they had driven, or she had driven him back, and then gone out of the vehicle and like gone around to his side and then attacked him. But obviously it makes more sense that, oh, you see him coming down in the car drunk, then you try to, like, maybe you try to get at him or whatever. The thing is that there's alcohol involved. There's, you know, this game of telephone that we don't really know what happens. And then obviously there's this signed affidavit, which is very bizarre. He asked her,
and it's weird to have.
He asked her to sign an affidavit,
through text.
Which is what it is. It's a legal statement of claim, basically. So it says, like, here's what happened in this moment. So the affidavit would basically say, no, I didn't hit you, or no, I wasn't driving drunk. It likely is that I never put my hands on you.
Probably.
And signing an affidavit basically says, yes, I agree with this statement.
Yeah.
So, and Nick Lachey, good on him. He was so taken aback.
He's like, this is a legally binding document.
He immediately says, you have a legally binding document, and you're saying that you were coerced into signing this. Is that true? And then they both kind of said no.
He's like, no. And she's like, no, I signed it.
But Casey, who's with her throughout the whole thing,
who's allegedly read all of these texts as they've come in and whatnot, and I believe it.
And the way she recited it too is like, would you do me the pleasure of signing this affidavit for me? Like, maybe it wasn't coercion. Coercion. Oh my God. It's been a long day. But yeah, maybe it wasn't coercion in the classic way of, like, I'm threatening you, or I'm threatening you, I'm giving you money, whatever. But maybe there was something. And obviously this is all hearsay between the parties. The fact that she signed the affidavit in a court of law would basically make it legally binding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's and then we have the two couples that
the two winning couples is what I'm going to call them, basically. Yeah.
So we have.
We start with Monica and Luke, because they're the ones that had less fun.
Monica and Luke, they honestly, they're totally fine. They're still engaged.
Yeah.
They're planning their wedding. Luke is very happy with everything that they went through and everything that came about in the experiment and whatnot, because they were able to get to where they are now. And he had given her the ultimatum. And she said yes, and they're still engaged.
Yeah. And I think he talked about it a lot too. It came down to, like, the insecurity of, like, you know,
it was his own insecurity.
He put her up on this pedestal because he thought he could never, like, reach up to her, basically.
Yeah.
And then he talked a lot about his own career, like how he's the manager of a restaurant now, and how he's working.
I was only going to be a firefighter. I can only do that. Oh, well, success isn't this only one thing. It can be multiple things while I work to this. And
they actually talked about it quite a bit, that a lot of the guys on the show were, like, business owners of some kind.
Oh, yeah.
They own a small business, whatever. But
he's like, I don't have that.
And I think I've actually talked about this a lot. I don't know if I ever talked about it on the podcast. Maybe I have in the beginning, but success is defined by the person more than anything else. And I think there's such a vital part to play to being a cog in the wheel of making things go, rather than being the cog.
Now, on the other side of this too,
or being the wheel, I guess, in this case.
Monica's main thing as well, and why she wanted to go onto the ultimatum with it, was to see if somebody older with a more established career and better financial situation is something that was actually that important to her.
Yeah.
And she discovered that it wasn't. And I think that's something that also helped.
Well, she has a business too, right?
Yeah. So I think that's something that helped Luke a lot there, of her accepting for herself of, like, oh, no, you on your own is totally fine. You don't need to be this established businessman with all this other stuff there. You can be you, and we'll figure it out.
Yeah. And I think the other thing too, with the two of them, for her, I think she kind of learned to understand her love languages pretty well too. Like her and David.
Yeah.
Her and David were, like, not super touchy-feely, but they hugged a lot. They kind of, like, just,
because that's what, like, she
casual touching,
wanted.
Right?
She's like, I'm a very physically affectionate person. It's not like we need to kiss and make out and whatnot, but, like, I like to hold hands. I like hugs. I like to just, like, reach out and touch you because I know that you're there.
Yeah.
And I get, like, we'll be laying in bed and he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I just want to touch you.
Yeah.
I just need to touch you. That is all.
Yeah, so I think it was so beneficial to both of them in so many ways. And,
Oh
like,
yeah.
He really invested himself of like, I should be more secure in myself. And
Yeah.
I think he really did become more secure. He kind of like
he grew a lot.
He renewed his faith a little bit too of like, this is leading me in the right direction. I just have to let it. And like,
he's a very God-centered man.
Kudos to you, honestly, man. Like, she is too. So like, it's a good fit there. It's not like one is forcing on the other. I think like what he did and what she did too was
what
the literal definition of what the ultimatum is supposed to be. We just don't see it play out like that very often.
Exactly. And they were, other than that, they were relatively boring.
And which
is good.
That couple swap too with like David and Casey and Luke and Monica.
Casey. I was trying to remember what her name
It was so largely boring because both couples were like legitimately working on themselves.
The
like,
most that we ever saw with them and the four of them with any sort of drama was what we're also pretty sure was production setup of showing up to the exact same place for a similar type of date right as this date is ending. Yeah. And Casey is watching David lift up Monica so she can do a dunk when she's all of 50 pounds soaking wet.
Yeah, Monica's got me like 80 pounds.
And he's like 6'5", so he's like, oh, you want to try dunking? Sure.
I could pick my ass up.
Literally. So like it was literally just a thing of like, oh, here you go. And he lifted her like a Barbie princess. Like,
I know. No,
so that was the only thing. And Casey's like, oh, I didn't want to have to watch that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And then
that's it.
So then swapping to what I'm gonna say is the star couple, because we had a first in Ultimatum and actually Love Is Blind
first mystery. Across all of these shows with Nick and Vanessa, or just Nick two. Because Nick does
he's a wedding officiant.
No, what's the show that he does on his own without Vanessa?
Talking about Perfect Match?
That one.
No. Yeah, Perfect Match.
That one, yes.
So they do Love Is Blind and Ultimatum together. Those are the two.
Yes. This is the first time.
Wait, hold on. We should talk about David and Casey because
we've actually had success.
We have. And I think, so they're planning on getting married too, so they were engaged. They were planning their Italy wedding.
Yes. And now the main problem that she had was he'd given her, they're in their 20s and 30s.
No, they're 34 and 33.
That.
Yeah.
He's given her 3 promise rings.
There was like that lack of legitimate commitment, basically.
Promise rings are for teenagers.
And their lives, I don't even think I realized this until the reunion or until the finale. Their lives are really intertwined.
Extremely
intertwined. They have a house together. They have a business together. They've got the dog they share.
Yep.
So
they were doing everything other than actually being married.
It was bizarre
and
in my mind.
He just didn't want the commitment. It was too much for him. It was too big.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, I want this. I need this.
He was a little selfish too, I think, in a lot of ways. Like, I don't think he quite understood how to love her, and I don't think she understood like what she was looking for and how to articulate that. And one of the things that they said, and hand to God, if you take anything away from anything we've ever produced on this show, is that David said one of the things that we had learned the best from the Ultimatum was how to argue. Because
efficiently. So
many couples will argue and they just argue at each other.
Killian and Ashley.
Yeah, you're fighting.
But you did this. Well, you did this. But you did this first.
You have to and sometimes that's okay because sometimes you just have to let it out.
Sometimes you have to hash it out and there's no solution to it.
Yeah. But ultimately, if you're arguing about something, your resolution should be for a legitimate positive change. Let's say, I don't know, you're having issues with your kid's bedtime or something, right? You shouldn't be arguing about how you shouldn't be arguing at each other. You should be, and if you are arguing, you should ultimately center it on, we have to figure out how to fix this kid's bedtime and what we're each going to do to progress that. It shouldn't be hey, you're wrong or you're telling me I'm wrong, right?
Yep.
It should be, how do we fix that together and move towards a real solution?
And they figured that out real quick.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, people are going to fight about pointless shit where that doesn't exist, but usually that goes away in an hour. You're like, oh, fucking who cares?
Yeah. But they're still engaged and they were planning their wedding to be in Italy, which is really cool. I don't want to even think about how difficult that would be to plan a wedding.
The cost.
I don't want to think about that. But even just the stress to plan it somewhere else. That's why we got married where we are and made everybody come to us, because none of our friends or family are where we are. No. And it was either, well, we plan it here and everybody travels to us, or we plan something somewhere where we're not and hope everything makes it and it does what it's supposed to.
Most importantly too, we didn't have to go up a week ahead of time or 2 weeks ahead of time to start planning the venue or meeting with the coordinators. We were here so it could happen.
Was able to do it the night before.
Yeah.
It was great.
Game changer.
And this is pretty much across the board. If you're getting married internationally, you have to get married domestically first. You have to have your certificate and your license and whatnot in the country that you're in before you go and get married overseas.
And Nick
is officiant. Nick is an officiant in the state of California.
Yeah.
And that's where the reunion was being held. So they asked him if he would marry them on TV.
Yep.
And they did. Then and there.
The first of its kind on Ultimatum, and the biggest marker of success for the show. I really think so.
It really, really is.
I dunked on this season. I said this was a crap season. I actually believe that through and through watching it.
Best reunion, though.
Best reunion. But to see the duality of the couples, and they're probably going to talk about this forever, and naysayers of the show are going to talk about this forever.
Oh, yeah.
The people that committed to the process
made it through.
It worked. They're getting married, or they did get married on the show, like David and Casey.
And the ones that essentially broke every rule and went against the experiment are the ones who weren't able to make it through and are the ones who broke up. And don't get me wrong, there's a good chance they were going to break up anyway.
Yeah.
But every time, every season, the ones who don't listen to the rules and who don't do what they're supposed to in it never make it through, and they don't work through what they're supposed to, and they don't grow in the ways that they're supposed to.
And I'm going to say this. Do I think that the show is magically saved and that the premise works? No, I'm still going to have my shitty opinions. Like,
yes.
If I'm right or wrong in my opinion, it's irrelevant because it's my opinion. So, like, I really look at this because
we're still going to watch the next season.
This is so, like, jarring to me in a lot of ways. We literally had the biggest marker of success they could, and in my mind I'm still like, what is the point of this show?
Yeah.
Like, I still think if you're going on this show, break up.
Like I said, after, the only one that I still understand even slightly is in the first season with the one couple that had been together 8 years since high school, and she was like, either marry me or get rid of me because I'm sick of waiting.
It was basically the same as Alex and Jevin.
Yeah.
Like, literally the same.
Yeah.
They're high school sweethearts, and they wanted to make the decision. I think, like, if you wanted to get some clout, it's a good way to break up, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. If you want to publicly break up, but then gain 100,000 followers for it, go on the show. 100%.
Yeah.
But if you want to actually succeed, I don't think that you need to break up with your partner and watch them be with somebody else and you be with somebody else for 3 weeks to realize, oh, no, I think I do actually really love you and want to be with you. No, I don't like seeing you with somebody else, and I don't like being with somebody else. I want to be with you. Why can't you use your imagination? Like you said, go use your hand.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Finish yourself off.
Go to the bathroom for 15 minutes. You'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, who was that comic we just watched? Jeff something.
Oh.
I never miss a day. Yeah, he's talking about it, and his wife's in the crowd. He's like, I never miss a day. Those showers I take, that's why I'm telling you to get out. It's funny.
That's why you lock the door in the shower sometimes.
Hey, I'm going to say this. I've complained about this since we actually got together and since we moved in this place. Our bathroom door doesn't lock.
Yes, it does. I can unlock it.
Well, that's what I mean. And it was the same thing in our last apartment.
Well,
I had no privacy in the bathroom.
In the last one, the gap in the door was big enough that I just could, I could take my nail and push it was dumb. The doorknob in and open the door. And
now here it's very easy to dismantle,
in the first place we were in, there was no bathroom door.
That's true, yeah.
So that one, whatever.
But now here, you can get in any time.
Because I can unlock it.
So she's trying to tell me that I can that's why I locked the door. It's like, no, I ain't got privacy in there. I really don't.
Or I'm waiting on the other side of the door to scare you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, so for one couple, it was very successful. For another, it's almost there. And for 4 couples, it was a disaster
in a lot of ways. Yeah,
but also dodged a bullet for 2 of them. Killian and Ashley deserve each other. Although it showed at the end, Ashley's mom passed away right before all of this happened.
I think that was her mom at least.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, rest in peace. That's tough.
Her mom passed this year.
It's never easy to lose somebody, and you might make fun of the rest of the show, but
that's that came up and we're like, oh,
that's something.
Poor Ashley.
That's something you just got to grieve. There's not much you can do about it.
Yeah, but it was also really nice that they put that into the show at the end of in memory of, I don't remember her name, Trisha something or other.
I can't remember. Yeah,
but in memory of Ashley's mom.
Yeah.
They had her birth year and death year.
That was her stepmom, wasn't it?
I thought that was her mom.
Sorry. No, I'm thinking of Casey. Casey's birth mom died. Yeah.
Casey's mom died when she was 13.
And her stepmom is still around. Sorry. Yeah. But no, like, what a wild season. I'll say this. It was a very entertaining season of TV. Yeah. If you're interested in it, I think the show up to the finale was unbelievable.
If you like yelling at people on the TV, watch this season.
Yeah, the show up to the finale was just great, and then the finale really delivered.
The finale, we could have gone without.
You could honestly skip it because really
everybody says yes, everybody proposes, and they say stupid things.
It was weird.
Everybody says yes, and then most of them don't make it.
Yeah, but yeah, we watched
literally
so much
we
TV.
Finished watching it. We're like, gotta
podcast, film. Yeah, and like we watched other TV this week, but
this was
I was kind of excited for what this could be because either I thought the finale was going to be entertaining and the reunion might drop it, or the finale might suck and then the reunion pick it up.
Yeah,
I just didn't quite expect the level of amazing.
It was literally 0 to 100.
Like the reunion was just a giant roller coaster of ups and downs. That was just like perfect.
The secondhand embarrassment that I felt the whole time and the uncomfortability that it made me feel. I don't like it, but I loved it.
It was good. Yeah.
It was so good. It was so good.
But I think that, we actually maybe a little longer than we normally do, but it's fine. I feel like I could talk forever about this because it was such an entertaining episode. And I think, I think kudos to Nick and Vanessa for such an amazing season.
And I love Vanessa's reactions.
Yeah.
Vanessa has amazing reactions.
She's very entertaining.
I love Vanessa Lachey.
Yeah. And Nick was on point in the reunion too. So
he was. And then he was so honored to be able to officiate the marriage. And it was his first marriage he's ever officiated.
Was it?
Yeah, that's what he said. He's like, this is my first one.
I could have sworn he's done others.
Maybe he meant first one on show, but he said this is my first one, so I don't know.
I'm not sure. Either way,
yeah. It was adorable, and then we get to see while the credits are rolling, he's signing the paperwork, so it's official, like actually legit.
It's actually happening, yeah.
And it's Chris is like, he has his dad glasses on. I'm like, yeah, he has to see where he's signing.
That'll be me soon, yeah.
When you actually go to a doctor.
But yeah, no, great season, great finale. Great. It's been a great week of TV, and then we're off to the fair on Friday, which is our normal recording day.
Yeah,
so it's
we're good for this then.
Yeah, it's I'm excited either way.
Yeah, it was a good one, and then next we're coming up to our year anniversary.
Yeah, next episode we'll actually we'll have to figure out how we're gonna record that. Because Hope works the whole day on our wedding anniversary.
I do.
So we're probably going to be doing something on the 30th. Yeah. But yeah, we'll maybe after the anniversary, we'll sit down and just chat about it. Originally, it was going to be this week's episode, but then the Ultimatum kind of scooped it.
It did, which is fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, we can talk about it after the anniversary.
Our anniversary is not going anywhere.
No, it'll still be there on the 31st.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we'll end it there a little longer than usual, but what a brilliant
there was a lot to talk about because it was full of stupid people.
I'm glad we did it now too, because like I still remembered all of how everything was said. Yeah, it was all there. Made a big deal. But yeah, thanks for the continued support and everything.
Yeah,
we appreciate all the comments, feedback we get, and just everybody who's interested in watching.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
We love yapping, and just wherever it goes, it goes.
I mean, we talk about it anyway, so now we're just talking about it into a microphone.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.